Hi everyone, we're going to do another Leetcode today, and we are going to do the valid parentheses problem. So basically the problem gives you an input of a string, and they'll give you a string of brackets. So you have just the normal bracket, your curly bracket, and square bracket, and we need to know if this is a valid bracket, if it is valid. So basically if you have like an opening and a closing, then that's okay. So if you have three different brackets side to side, then it's okay. But if you have like opposing brackets, it should be false. So basically it needs to make sense in a mathematical way. So in order to solve this problem, basically you need to make sure that whenever you have an opening bracket, the next character in the string has to correspond to the appropriate closing bracket. So whenever you have something that's not appropriate, then you need to basically say it's false. And also it will always have to start with a opening bracket. So if you have the first character is a closing bracket like this, for example, it's just maybe the string is like that, and then you know that this is invalid. So let's just code it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to iterate through the string, and I'm just going to say let bracket of s, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to create something called a stack. So a stack is basically, it's kind of an array. We're going to use an array, but a stack is something that you place items in, and you can only remove the last item you inserted in. So for example, in like real life, if you have like a pile of books, you just stack it on top of each other. The last the first book that you can actually remove from that stack is actually the thing that you placed on last, which is on top. So that's the data structure we're going to use. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if this bracket is an opening bracket. So we're going to just code that up quickly. Bracket equals opening, and that's a square, and then we're going to do the curly bracket. So if it is either one of these brackets, we can just push it into the stack. So I'm going to stack dot push bracket. And okay, so we pushed into the bracket. So the next thing we need to do is we're just going to continue. We're going to end the loop, that iteration of the loop. But if it is not a opening bracket, that means it's a closing bracket, then we need to check if it is a valid closing bracket. So we're going to have to create a special function. I'm going to call it is valid closing, and it's obviously going to check the bracket. And then what I'm going to do is we're going to return I'm going to return basically if the stack. Okay, so I think maybe I'm going to create another variable inside and say last equals stack dot add -1. So we're going to take the last item in the stack, and then we're going to check and say if stack equals to this normal bracket here, and the bracket equals the corresponding closing bracket. So here, and then we're going to check for the other types of brackets as well. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm just going to put it in a parentheses. And we're going to put in all I'm going to check the square. Then we're going to check the curly braces. Okay, so this should be last. And yeah, okay, so that is the valid closing. So we're going to check if is valid closing bracket. Then we want to just pop it out. So we want to just remove the last bracket. So for instance, if we already have something like this opening bracket here, and then if we get a valid closing bracket, so if, for example, the next one is the closing bracket, what we want to do is, instead of pushing it into it, we just want to just pop the last one out, and then it will be empty. And then once we pop it out, we can do an else statement, because if it's a closing bracket and it doesn't correspond to the last opening bracket, then we know that is not valid anymore. So we can just return false here. And then what we can do is, after we went through the whole string, we can just return the stack length. We're going to check it if it is empty. So if we still have some brackets inside the stack, then we know it's not balanced. And that is the solution we're going for here. And we're going to run this code up and see the test case. And as you can see, we have passed for all the cases. We're going to submit this. Yep, so as you can see, this is quite a acceptable solution here. Runtime is pretty much above average. You can see that basically we have a stack. This stack will probably grow of O of n in terms of space complexity, because the thing is, it could actually grow as if you look at like the worst case scenario, they have like at least half of the S will be in the stack. So yeah, that is O of n space complexity, and you have a time complexity of O of n as well. So we've come to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we're going to do a few more of these Leetcode solutions. Stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for the notifications. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment down below, and I will see you in the next video.